Hey guys, welcome to LFA's Chop Shop. Today we're doing the HR.
So this is the I didn't get my Corolla done car, or Tom didn't get his C10 done car, isn't it?
Yeah, the failure car.
This is the failure car. So this is the backup car for Dale's wedding. So he got this from a family friend about a year ago, I think. And he's just decided that the wedding is a good idea to get it finished and try and get it done for one of us that doesn't get our car done. So it's real tidy. It's got a bit of rust in the doors, and the bonnet is currently not blue. And that's pretty much it, really. It's like pretty tidy all around. The interior's got a few little marks on it.
Oh, it's a few tears, but it's the original. One of the tail lights is out because we only got like paint match for the bonnet.
Oh yeah, so you're matching this blue to match the bonnet.
Yeah.
So you got the paint that's the furthest away from the bonnet to match the bonnet.
Yeah, the least favourite.
Yeah. So what's the story? You got this from an old lady, from a family friend.
Yep. She passed away. I drove it about 10 years ago, and it's sat in the shed since.
Right.
That's it.
So the story goes, this was at a swap meet, and this lady bought it when Dale and his dad were hanging out with her, and she said to Dale that he could drive it home. He was on his L plates, and then she said, "I'll leave it to you when I die," as a bit of a joke. Dale never thought anything of it.
10 years later.
10 years later, here we are. So we need to get this done and ready and just go through all the brakes, all the cooling, redo the engine stuff, the carby, dizzy, just a bit of everything. It's not really been driven, really, has it?
Not in 10 years. It's been in the shed since.
Yep.
See attached photos.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of stuff from 10 years ago, so I'll chuck that in now. And then I'm going to just drive this into the shed and get started. So just to prove that he got this 10 years ago and hasn't looked at it.
I think anyone's looked at it.
He doesn't know which keys is for the boot.
I opened it once.
They're really tidy door cards.
Yeah, I don't know where they came off.
What is that? Oh, is that your dolly?
That's the nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel.
From when you were a kid?
That's why I can't sleep at night.
Game of trouble, anyone? Oh, there's all sorts in there.
Yeah.
Did she buy all of this at the swap meet?
No, she just faked it and needs somewhere to put it.
Oh, this was just storage. That is a big boot.
Speedo. It was converted to kilometres from miles.
Oh, wow. In like 76 or whenever they did that.
Oh, God, I don't know. All the original owner stuff.
First order of business, we're going to get this bonnet off. Dale's dad's going to paint it for him. Alright, so we'll get this bonnet off, chuck that aside, and then we're just going to try and take parts out tonight. That's the plan. Then Dale can get all the stuff reconned and new bits and get everything, all the parts we need. Then we can come back and just smash into it in one day.
Do it all in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do it in 20 minutes or less. YouTube guarantee. Alright, jack her up, take the wheels off. Alright, we're going to get the drums off. Radiator, carby, drums. Get into it. You're really good at being noisy when I'm filming. Alright, two reasons we're doing this. Get that gunk in the bottom of the radiator hose. And this noise when I squeeze the hose. Shut up.
That looks like paint.
That looks awfully thick.
It's very thick.
Alright, got the wheels off. They're going to get new tyres and possibly white walls. The radiator out that's getting re-cored or just redone.
Just reconditioned.
Reconditioned. Yep, so flushed and It's full of goo. And we've got the carby off, which is getting reconditioned as well. So Dale's going to take the back brakes off, and he's already got the bits for the front. So we'll catch you when we've got all the rest of the bits right here. Alright, it's been about 2 weeks. Dale's got all the parts on the shelf over there. We're back with the HR. Today's the day. We're going to get the brakes done and all the mechanical done and hopefully get this thing running and driving. So I'll show you the parts and then we'll get into working. What parts have we got, Dale?
We have a bit of everything. Ball joints, wheel cylinders, brake pads, discs, thermostat bits, and I broke the temperature sender, so another one of them. Radiator hoses, thermostat, brake shoes, lowered springs, water pump, new brake lines because they were all blocked, lowering block, fuel filter, wheel bearings, adjustable shockers because I just for some reason wanted to do that. A new thermostat because that one's a little less chunky than that thing, which all died.
Yeah.
And then obviously thermostat housing.
Yep.
And then we've got brake master cylinder which we have to bleed and then put in. I also have a carby which I didn't think it needed any work. They told me this was kind of dead, so that's all been reconditioned and all that sort of stuff.
Alright, so Dale's going to start up the front and start getting engine components back on. Probably start with the front of the motor where the sealant needs to go off. We're going to jump in the back and do some drum brakes.
All the old gasket straight into the intake. That'll add compression. If you're gonna fail, do it right.
How's the carby going, Dale?
Great! I mean, there's only 2 bolts holding the thing down, so that's, you know, within my IQ limits. I really should use proper spanners, but I don't want to have to go down and harass you. If this was actually tight, I'd use a proper spanner. I don't do this all the time. Cool, done. D-U-N. Maybe those GoPros on our heads to make it interesting.
Oh, that guy that films the trains.
Not like that. Put the water pump on, as you can see. Pour some flow for the water. It goes right here. So plug that in so the heater water can run through that hole. Yep. Actually drilled out now. Look at my lawn, get off it!
So I've just jumped in the back here, got this side all rebuilt, put the new old drum on. Ronnie's here, he's attacking the front. So Ronnie's going to pull the front discs apart and then I'm going to jump on the other side and Dale's still working on the engine. What are you doing, Ronnie? What are you working on? Yeah, good chat. Alright, Ronnie's doing the front, Dale's doing something. Dale's going to snap the old fan belt because he didn't get a new one.
Yeah.
And
that well. I got new everything else.
Did you find the right pulley?
Yes I did. So that was one that was in the boot. So obviously she changed to a HQ water pump fan.
Alright.
Which is different currently.
So you're going back to HR stuff?
Yeah, so go back to original, which is, you know, awesome.
Concourse.
Yeah.
And you drilled out the heater hose hole?
A little bit more than the old one, so we've got extra flows.
So Dale's got the fan and pulley on from the boot, so they were original HR ones. Just doing a fuel filter at the moment.
Because it never had one?
Oh, it never had one. Carby's on. What's left in here? Radiator?
Yeah, radiator, battery.
Earth's all good.
Yeah, what's going to do? Earth out? That's fine.
And then radiator battery. Is that it? Brakes. Oh, master cylinder. How are you doing, Ronnie?
Fine. You guys are worrying me.
Everything's fine though.
Should I come check up on this?
No. It's still there.
It's all good. It's all good.
So Ronnie's just brought to our attention that the wheel bearing's really good.
Should be alright.
Probably fix that. Take all this off, replace the discs, replace the wheel bearings and the lower ball joints and lowered springs. I think that's all of it.
And shockers.
And shockers. And Dale's down there doing something.
Radiator hoses.
Radiator hoses, you reckon? Alright, the back is all done. The brake lines, hard lines aren't put back on yet. But that's all done and ready to be adjusted and bled. So we're all going to be up the front and get these front corners done, get all the engine stuff done, and we'll be getting somewhere. Alright, we're going to do a bit of a how-to on how to install lowering blocks because Dale hasn't done it before. So the first step is to get it off the diff and put the jack stand somewhere else so the diff is free and loose by itself instead of just undoing bolts like Dale was going to do, and then the diff just sort of skyrockets and the car comes down. So just moving the jack stands and then we can undo the bolts. Alright, so I got the jack stands moved, so now I'm going to take the shocks off and then we're going to undo the bolts from the bottom of the diff, which would be U-bolts normally. The HR is a weird pad thing, so we're going to undo these bolts here and take the shocks off. Alright, so we got the two bolts out on this side and those ones are loose, and we put the U-bolt in place. And then we're going to undo this side and just lift the diff up a little bit and slide the lowering block in between the diff and the leaf spring. So we've got the diff unbolted and we've got the U-bolts on. So now we're going to slide the lowering block in here and get it all in the right spot with the pin here and the bolt on the bottom, which is just in there. We've got the U-bolts in, got the lowering block in. It's got the pin on the bottom that's just lined up and the pin on the top is in the right spot, but this little rubber just needs to be pried out of the way when we pull it together. And then this bottom plate is on with the new nuts, so that'll pull up, this will pull down, and then you just got that 2-inch block in there. Are you winning? I got the ball joints off on this side, so everything's ready to go back together. Take the spring out and the shock out, and then that's probably where we start, I imagine. And then the other side we haven't really touched. These boys have been struggling to get this ball joint in. Dale's got some weird contraption. It's just a big G clamp that pushes the ball joint in. He's struggling. Alright, so I got the back all back together. There is one brake line disconnected, so we can flush the front out. And then we got the shocks on, got the lowering blocks in, new pads, new shoes even, new wheel cylinders, and the boys are on the front. So Ronnie pulled this side apart and then bailed on his job. And Dale's been putting it back together.
King springs.
King springs.
Brake fluid everywhere, thanks to Jeff.
Yeah, new ball joints, top and bottom, and soon to be new discs and wheel bearings and stuff once it's all back together. And then Ronnie's just pulling out the other side. We'll check in with him and see what he's got to say. How you doing, Ronnie?
Hi.
Cool. So this side's coming apart.
Yeah, all the ball joint split. Just undoing everything now.
Cool. So this side's almost apart, and we're going to clean that and all of this mess because we're going to just keep tripping over stuff. And then we should be pretty close. This is what true friendship looks like.
Holding another man's shaft.
Yeah. Just the trust.
Oh, you're making me nervous.
That's right.
There's so much trust. There's a nurse right there. We're fine.
I can't do anything when you smack his hand.
You can do it after.
We've got all the hubs apart. It was miserable. Dale putting the hubs onto the new discs. Ronnie's cleaning the spindle. I am sitting here because my hands hurt from doing exactly what Dale was doing, and I just greased all the wheel bearings.
By hurt, you mean bleeding.
And then the nurse is gone. Alright, we got the hubs on the new discs. That took literally hours to get them off and on. Got the wheel bearings greased. Ronnie's pulling apart, or just finished putting apart, and he's putting back together the front end on the other side. Just get the spring in, and then that side's done. And then we can put the hubs and stuff on and the brakes back on. And then start on the brake debacle, which is master cylinder and lines. Alright, so we got the new hubs and wheel bearings on. New disc rotors. Ronnie's just going to put the steering back together. Same on both sides. Dale is bench bleeding a master cylinder, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Is there any luck?
I don't know. We'll find out when I'm doing it for an hour and nothing's changed.
Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much the last major part. Ronnie's just putting stuff together, and then we're going to put that on and then make it work.
That's it.
Alright, so this side's pretty much done other than the caliper. We took those off and the brake pads kind of don't really fit, and then the seals actually look pretty gross.
And Jeff wanted to put a grinder to them.
And we want to take a little tiny bit off the edge of the pad, which will make them fit, just the steel part, but the calipers are kind of gross, so Dale wants to get them rebuilt. So we're going to do that and then not drive this thing today. And then Ronnie's just finishing up the last bit on this side. And then we should be pretty good to try and make the engine run and make sure the coolant system works and everything. Get fuel to the new carby and in the filter and stuff. See if it idles and runs, and then we'll get those calipers rebuilt during the week. And then we'll come back for day 2 and we'll put those on, and Dale will get the hood painted, probably do all that off camera, and then we'll take this thing for a drive. So we're just going to put the earth on the radiator where it's supposed to be, and then we can put it on the battery, and then we're going to try and pull some fuel into the carby. Probably get a new bolt for there, and then we can start it. Fuel in the pump. Thanks. Alright, so it's 11:30 on a Saturday night, and Dale just texted me. He said he's test driving the HR, so he must have got the brakes and everything back together. So he's got a bonnet, I know that much, and he said he'll be here soon. So let's go for a test drive on this HR that we spent one day fixing up. Alright, so Dale's got the HR out. We're just trying to cross the road. We're in the middle of O'Connell Street. It's got some snacks. HR's doing well. Alright, it's 12:30. We are somewhere in the city. There's a river there. I don't know Adelaide very well. HR's doing really well. The hubcaps have been left off to check wheel nuts and wheel bearings and stuff. It seems to be going pretty good. It smells a little warm, but the radiator's like not very good, so could just be that. Temp gauge and everything seems fine. It doesn't seem to be overheating or doing anything weird. And all around pretty good. The brakes lock up and make some squealy noises, so that's fun. So everything seems to be good. Alright, it's Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Emily's riding her bike. Dale and Ronnie are in the HR. I'm going to jump in the back. He's going to go for a cruise. What's going on, Ronnie? What are we doing?
Test drive.
Oh,
Not dying.
not dying on a test drive.
With 2-foot brake.
The old girl is sorted. Typical. Oh yeah. Very good.
What do you reckon, Ronnie? Cool. Alright. So done a couple 100Ks. Just finished cruising around. Everything seems to be going pretty well. Does need a few little things, but it's overall very good and a whole lot better than it was. At least it's on the road and at least it's being used. King low springs in the front.
The only option you could have.
So standard front springs or low front springs, and a 2-inch drop in the back with lowering blocks. Alright, so we've just been for a drive. We're at the servo. Everything's doing all well. Ronnie is hiding off camera. What did we do, Dale?
We did everything. We did brakes, discs, pads, recon calipers. We did the drums. Well, Jeff redid all the drums.
And in the back.
Yeah, machined the drums, the little valvey things in the back, cylinders. We did ball joints, we did springs, lowering blocks, we did adjustable shockers.
Yep.
Carby, we did the thermostat housing.
Yeah, right.
Flush the radiator hoses, yeah, water pump, master cylinder.
Oh yeah.
I think that was it.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Everything that makes it go and stop.
Yeah.
Everything except for the booster, which doesn't
is the problem.
work.
Yeah, so it feels like you're pushing against a brick wall.
Yeah, the brakes are really hard. They do work quite well, but they're really solid.
It's a 2-footed job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, she's all done. The old man painted the bonnet, but we matched the tail light, and that had been sitting out in the weather, so that was faded, and we matched that. So the bonnet and the guard doesn't quite match.
Yeah. Still looks good. It's not yellow anymore, so that's a plus.
And then we also did a service, so flushed out fuel tank. We put a fuel filter in because it never actually had one. Oil filter, oils, spark plug leads.
Everything, really, yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's a full once over. And what do you reckon? It's about $3,000.
Yeah, it's probably cost about 3 so far. But we still need to do a booster. We need to do a radiator. So that's probably about $1,000 there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, maybe an exhaust, but I don't think it needs one that bad.
Definitely needs the exhaust. It's all roddy.
Ah.
And then tyres and a road trip.
Yeah. Oh, tyres kind of would help because we'll see if we can find the date on them.
Yeah, and we'll let you know.
But yeah, they're not very good.
And then we'll give it a road trip. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Hey.
Ronnie doesn't like being on camera.
Come here, Ronnie.
Let's give him a little zoom. What do you reckon, Ronnie?